everybody, it's Lanisha. I am just going to give a quick, or I always say quick and then it turns into like 10 minutes, but just want to give a quick little update. I had my third follow-up appointment last night, and just to give you a recap, last Tuesday I was supposed to go to underwriting. Didn't do that, didn't have certain things in place for me to move forward. My employer verification being one of them, my rental history verification was another big thing, and then I had to do some additional labeling on my bank statements when it came to my business income or whatever. So anyhow, went to my appointment last night. It was at 7 o'clock. Now, let me just say this. I had been getting extremely frustrated, and I've expressed this in another video. I was frustrated with my counselor because, it's out of sight, out of mind. And I'm sure that's not just me and my experience. I'm sure that's what everybody goes through, because these counselors, they have so many clients. They can only focus on the here and now. So they will give you their attention when you have an appointment. You're sitting in front of them at their desk, whatever. And then once you go, they're on to the next guy or whatever. And so it's so easy to be angry and to be frustrated and to get upset. But I think we also have to remember that they are human too. And I had to really put myself in check yesterday, because I was ready to light into my counselor, and it's like, we're still at the beginning stages. I've only been in my process for, I think this is my 7th week, so that's not a terribly long time. So I do feel like I need to exercise a little more patience, because I'm watching other videos, and you got, like, some people have like some legit serious issues. They're under contract, having issues with extensions and all of that, potentially losing money and losing their home. So I really had to kind of put myself in check and get my emotions under control, because I was ready to go off on my counselor yesterday. And when I got there, like I said, my appointment was at 7 o'clock, and our NACA office closes at 5:30 actually. So automatically, my counselor was doing me a favor by even having a late appointment. And from what I'm told, he's like the first one in every day, the last one to leave the building every day. So I really had to take a step back and consider his dedication to his clients, because most of these other counselors, they're leaving at 5:30, 6 at the latest, and here he is at 7. When I got there, I signed in. It was about 6:30 when I signed in. There was a woman who had a 6:30 appointment before me, plus me. And these appointments are supposed to take about an hour per person or whatever. So I'm just like, at 6:30, this man is still scheduling appointments. At 7 o'clock, he's still scheduling appointments. So, when he came out to get me, he just looked so beat down. He looked exhausted. He looked tired. And, I'm a nurse. I work 12-hour shifts. I work overnight. I'm a single mom. I have 3 kids. So it's like, when I get off of work, and I work an odd shift. I don't get off work till 10 a.m. So it's like, and I work an hour away. So when I get off of work, I'm making this hour drive home. 9 times out of 10, I'm not going home getting in the bed. I am going to the grocery store. I am picking up somebody from school. Somebody's got to go to the doctor. Somebody's got to go to the dentist. Somebody's got to go to the orthodontist. As I've mentioned in other videos, my son is disabled. He has 13 specialists. He's always got appointments. So it's like, when I get off work, I'm not going to sleep. I'm lucky if I get 2 hours of sleep, if that, a day. So I had to kind of had this sympathy for him, because he looks so exhausted, and I know what that's like when you're working long hours. So we went in to get started, and he just started talking about how he had a rough day, and he was just like, you know, he had I think 2 or 3 different couples or clients that came in, and he had to really tell them that, you know, they need to wait another year. Financially, they weren't ready. Their financial house wasn't in order just yet. There were so many more things that they needed to do. And he was like, you know, that can take a lot out of a person to have to disappoint and break people's hearts every day. So I really had to, you know, see things from his perspective. And it's just like not returning a phone call, not returning an email. They've got hundreds. He told me, at least in our office, they each have at least 100 clients. Like, could you imagine having 100 clients? I don't even like working in hospitals, facilities, because I would have anywhere from 30 to 45 patients. I prefer home health. I like to be able to control my caseload. I like to be able to control my interaction. So just imagine having 100 clients. I would be overwhelmed at work having 30 patients or whatever. That's the reason why I don't do facility work anymore, because it's just too much. It's overwhelming and it's emotionally taxing. So anyhow, I will say my counselor came through. He came through for me last night. As much as he's disappointed me so far, he made up for it last night. We were in that building until 9 p.m. And that's the type of dedication that he has to his clients. Now, don't get me wrong, he's still a pain in the butt, because, I mean, you know, it's frustrating to send an email, and while we're doing my intake, he's getting these little notifications on his screen of emails from clients, and he's opening and he's reading. So I'm like, oh, so this is what you do. Like, so it's not that you're not reading emails, you're just not acknowledging what we're saying in these emails. So I got to see, like, firsthand, okay, this is what he does when I send an email. He's just looking at it, and it's because he's got a client. Doesn't have time to respond to you. He's got a client, and when that client leaves, he's got another client. So anyhow, last night we just went over everything again, just made sure we had every piece of documentation that underwriting requires. Luckily, I had every single thing that he needed. It was either on my web file, in my web file already, because I uploaded it. It was either on my phone, saved in my Google Drive, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Or I had a hard copy in my binder. As you can see, my binder's in my back seat. I told you I keep it with me, like I have it all the time. So I had everything I need except for my employer verification. Why they haven't sent it, I don't know. It literally takes 5 minutes to do, because I've seen it. So I had to reach out to my CEO, and she promised me that HR would have it done for me by 2 o'clock today. She said if not, she would do it personally herself or whatever. So at this point, that's the absolute only thing standing in between me and the underwriter. So you know, that was good news. That definitely, like, brightened my spirits a little bit, because I was getting down. I was getting sad, and I don't do well with, like, stressful situations and anxiety. Like, I have really bad anxiety, so I was beginning to, like, contemplate whether I was, like, mentally stable enough to go through NACA. But last night kind of gave me a boost and, like, a renewed I don't know, idea about NACA, because I had begun to, like, really say, hey, you know, is this for me? Am I going to be able to handle this? Because I'm only 7 weeks in, and I'm ready to throw in the towel. So, you know, watching everybody else's testimony, I'm like, these women have gone through some stuff. Like, I have to, like, build myself up. I have to be tough. If they can get through it, I can get through it. So for everybody who is blogging about their journey, I'm so appreciative. Like, there are times when I want to give up, and then, you know, I watch a video and somebody has some good news, and it's so encouraging. It's such it's just like an emotional boost, you know, to see that kind of thing. And that's really what inspired me to just go ahead and blog. And, you know, sometimes you don't always have, like, a strong enough support system. Like, I've had people around me who seem to be really negative about NACA and quick to discourage me from doing it. So this is slowly becoming, not even slowly, quickly becoming an outlet for me to get on YouTube. And it's like, you know, let me see if somebody that I've subscribed to has a new video. Maybe they have updates. Maybe they will have a little bit of information that might keep me encouraged. So I'm just hoping that I'm able to provide other people with information. Actually, I had a comment. I had somebody mention who lives in Atlanta. She suggested maybe creating like a meetup group. And for those of you who don't know, meetup is just like an app for you to get to know people. That's actually how I met like my two best friends in Atlanta. I joined a single moms group on Meetup. So she suggested maybe creating a meetup group for Atlanta. Now, I actually think that's an awesome idea, because we might have the same counselors, we might have the same realtor, or we could refer people to each other. We can just kind of talk about how it is in Atlanta, but I would definitely want to keep it open, because just like you guys have shared your journeys, like we don't all live in the same place. So, and that knowledge is still not, like any knowledge is good knowledge. It doesn't matter where you live. So I would definitely be interested in setting up a meetup group, maybe have a group for Atlanta, but then also just have a group in general for us to just kind of piggyback off of, like suggestions or, you know, different things that we have done that helped us kind of get over a bump or whatever. There was something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, I said I would get clarification from my MC when it comes to debt. Any debt that you're reporting or that's being reported on your credit report, they're going to consider that as part of your debt to ratio income. And you know, the more debt you have, the less home you can afford. So debt goes up, your home price is going to go down. So I did find out that if you have any debt that is on an installment plan, and I'm not talking about credit cards, because you know, credit cards, they have different interest rates, they have different minimum payment requirements, they have like your ability to pay it off it's not a set in stone thing, because it might take one person a year to pay off a credit card, it might take another person 3 months to pay off a credit card. So that's not the kind of debt I'm talking about. I'm talking about the debt, I'm sorry, I'm like jittery, I just move around a lot. I'm talking about the debt that you, like say you are renting furniture, which I did. I ordered furniture from Rooms to Go and was making payments on it for 2 years. That's what I call an installment. So, and that was listed on my credit report. Those are the kind of payments, if you have less than 10 payments, the underwriter will not even consider it as debt at all. They will totally overlook it because you're going to pay it off soon. So anything that you still owe payments on and you have less than 10 payments, they're going to wipe that out. So say for instance, you have a car that you're getting ready to pay off. Maybe you've got 7 or 8 months. Maybe you're paying $400 a month for a car. That seems like a lot. But say you're making these $400 payments. That's a significant amount of money when it comes to getting a mortgage. So if you owe less than 10 months on your car, they aren't even going to consider that as debt, which is going to be great for you. So just keep that in mind when you're going through your finances and you're trying to decide what debt you want to pay off, what debt you want to pay down, you know, so that it'll help you in your mortgage process. Just something to consider. Also, I'll say that NACA has inspired me to like really get out there and hustle. Like I've always worked hard. I've always had like multiple jobs. I work 48 hours minimum a week, anywhere from 48 to 60. So I'm used to working a lot. But you know, I was trying to figure out ways to maybe pay down a little more debt, but not have to work a whole 12-hour shift. So if you've got a car and it's in pretty good condition, let your car work for you. And I mean, like, drive for Uber, drive for Lyft, you can do DoorDash, you can drive for Uber Eats. You know, these are things that you do on your own time. They do not take taxes out. The awesome thing about Uber and Lyft, they pay all day. So say for instance you get out and you drive in the morning and you make 50 bucks. You can automatically deposit it into your account. You can do up to 5 deposits in one day. So that's like instant tax-free money. That's money that you can just stack up. You can put an hour into it every day. You can do it for 2 hours, whatever. Make it work for you. And you'll be surprised how quick that little money adds up. Me personally, I signed up for Uber. I signed up for Lyft. I signed up for DoorDash. DoorDash delivers food. And I also work for Amazon. My preference is Amazon Flex when it comes to all of those gigs, because Amazon pays between $18 and $25 an hour, and it's tax free. So it's $10.99. They don't take taxes out. They pay twice a week. So if you've got Amazon Flex in your area, for everybody who lives in Atlanta, Amazon Flex is in our area. Sometimes they're not hiring, so you would just have to get online and see. But it's been an awesome way for me to just get out here, work a couple hours. Like, I will get off my shift at 10 a.m. and go do an Amazon Flex block. They call them blocks. Also another word for shift. And they're usually anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. And so what I do is, you know, everybody loves Amazon. All those packages that we order and get dropped off on our doorstep, that's what I deliver. And the cool thing about it is, say for instance, I sign up to do 3 hours. I've come up with a great system and a great way to finish a 3-hour block in like an hour and a half. And the awesome thing about Amazon is, if you sign up for 3 hours, they're going to pay you for 3 hours, even if it only takes you an hour and a half. So that's how I come up quick. I think I've maybe worked 12 hours, maybe 12 to 15 hours over the past few weeks, and I've made like close to $800. And it's like hardly any time, you know what I'm saying, when you piece it together. That $800 is about to be put towards a credit card to be paid off, so it's no longer part of my debt, which is going to give me more buying power. So there are little things that you can do, even if you have a 9 to 5 and you really are in need of like some extra cash to help you with this home buying process. You can sign up for Uber, you can sign up for Lyft, and I actually probably need to put a promo code on here like as a referral. But I mean, there are so many options these days. If you have a car, let your car make money for you. I understand, like, you know, it is wear and tear because you're putting miles on, but hey, I'm not doing this forever. I'm just doing this till I get my house. And you do it on your own schedule. You don't have to do it if you don't want to do it. So I just thought I'd throw that out there for anybody who's trying to move along but still need to save for their minimum required funds. Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Uber Eats, Instacart, all of those things. You can sign up online, get approved within 2 to 3 days, and be on the road making money. So I just wanted to throw that out there, and maybe that'll be helpful for somebody who is just trying to, you know, get your little extra coins together so you can get your funds and move on to the next step. But anyhow, I follow up Monday at 1 p.m. with my MC. We are going to submit to underwriting at that time. At this point, we don't need any more paperwork. We buy every single thing. I have a credit card statement. I have a new one that's going to come out in 2 days. So all I need to do is make sure I upload that into the web file, and then make sure my MC prints that off and adds it to my file on Monday, because I want to be there with him when he submits to underwriting. I don't want to just take his word for it, leave the building, and then I'm sitting here a week later trying to figure out what's going on with my stuff. So I'm going to be there in person to make sure it gets done. So anyway, I will be in touch with you guys. I will follow up next week and let you know if I'm actually like in the underwriting phase. I think maybe I mentioned this, maybe I didn't. It takes, in our area, they say 5 to 7 days. Our local underwriter actually said it's actually 7 to 10 business days. And then I've actually read somebody here, their file has been in underwriting for a month and a half. So you just never know. But anyway, I'm going to continue to check in and continue to look for videos. You guys kind of um, keep me encouraged, and I appreciate everybody who is blogging about the journey and offering tips and little bits of advice. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.